behind the movement.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and this is going to be a prenatal practice. It's appropriate for any stage of your pregnancy. Best thing to remember is that we do want to stretch, but at the same time we want to strengthen. So that's what we're going to be working on in this practice. Here we go. So I think that it's important to have, when you start off, a blanket for your knees to protect your joints, and also a bolster or maybe a pillow from your bed or your couch, and 2 blocks. And we'll be using all of these delicious props throughout the entire practice. If you've had a practice before pregnancy, I'm going to help show you a lot of modifications that you can bring into regular classes or when you continue into prenatal. So from here, take a comfortable seat. Perhaps sit on your blanket or your bolster to lift the hips above the knees. And you're going to untuck the flesh of your butte. Close your eyes. Bring the hands together at the center of the heart. And we're just going to give the hands a little rub. Start to slow the breath down. And you're just going to place one hand over your heart and one hand over your baby's heart. And you're going to bow the chin in deeply towards the chest. And take an inhale through the nose. And exhale, just let the shoulders soften. The jaw is going to soften. And again, breathe in through the nose. Exhale, letting the jaw soften, letting the shoulders soften. And 2 more breaths like that. And in this next inhale, we're going to invite our baby to practice with us today, making space not only in the body, but the mind. Gently blinking the eyes open. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, you're just going to take the right arm, or the left arm, excuse me, over towards the left side and reach the right arm up. And you're just going to give a gaze up, maybe a couple of wrist circles here. And as you do so, let the right hip get heavy towards the floor. And then inhale, you'll reach all the way up. Exhale, take it over to the right side. Let the left arm come up and over. Maybe the gaze goes up, grounding down through that left hip. Some circles. And then come all the way back up. And exhale, bring the hands all the way to the center of the heart. And we're going to take the hands behind the back, and I'm just going to spin so you can see what I'm doing. But we're going to take the hands behind the back, and the fingertips are going to point towards the bum. You're going to take both soles of the feet to the floor, and you're going to press down through the soles of your feet and through your palms, and you're going to roll your shoulders back and squeeze your bum. So from here, we'll do this 3 times, pressing into the soles of the feet, squeeze the bum, lift up, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, let the breath go. Again, inhale, pressing to the soles of the feet, lift up. Exhale, let go. And last time, inhale. Roll those shoulders back, stretching through the front of the chest. And exhale. Good. Crossing through the ankles. You can take your blanket now and unfold it and place it underneath the knees. So a couple of things to remember in pregnancy, because the knees are a little bit loosey-goosey because of all of the relaxin, it's really nice to have them padded. Same thing, it can get a little loosey-goosey in the wrists. So if your wrists are sensitive as you come to this tabletop, you can come onto your fist, or you can also come onto your forearms. So we're gonna take the hands, spread them nice and wide, and do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. So I'm gonna let my belly go. My baby's gonna come down towards the mat. My sit bones are lifting up. My heart's gonna go forward. This is my inhale. And on the exhale, I'm pressing through my upper part of the spine and I'm looking back towards my pubic bone. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Coming into a neutral spine here. You're gonna keep giving your baby just a gentle hug. So meaning you're not gonna squeeze your babe, but you're just gonna give it a gentle little hug there, drawing the belly button back. Tuck under through the toes, and we're gonna lift up through the hips. So in prenatal yoga, we gotta take our feet a little bit wider to make room for that beautiful belly. So depending on how far along you are, that's how wide your feet are gonna go. The baby's gonna hang like a hammock in that belly, and you're just reaching the heels towards the floor. And maybe we pedal out through the feet just a little bit. Let both heels release towards the floor, pressing into the palms. If you feel nauseous or dizzy, come to the knees and just come into a puppy pose. So we'll tuck through the chin, everybody, reach it forward, plank. Top of a push-up, legs are working really hard here. Inner thighs spinning up. Exhale, let the knees come down to the floor. We'll bring the big toes together, knees wide apart, and send the hips back, child's pose. So if you have a more delicious belly in the front, you're gonna take your hands wider and let your hips go above your knees, and this is called puppy pose. Walk your hands back, tabletop. From here, we'll tuck under through the toes, downward facing dog again. You'll have to adjust your stance as you press down through the left foot and reach up through the right. Give the ankles a couple of circles here. And then you're gonna step this right foot towards the center of the mat. Lower the left knee down, and then you can reach back and help your right foot come all the way to the front. You may need your blocks here, so I'm gonna reach for mine. And my blocks are to come to the inside of my right foot. So the foot is wide at the edge of the mat, blocks are to the inside, and I'm gonna roll my shoulders back, Anjaneyasana here, lifting the chest up. And then on my exhale, I'm gonna send it back, Ardha Hanuman. And again, gotta think about that belly. So if I need more space, I'll take these blocks over to the left diagonal. Top of the torso is in a cobra type shape. So rolling the shoulders back, reaching the heart forward. And we'll dance here for a little bit. So inhale, you're gonna take it forward, Anjaney. And on the exhale, send it back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, Anjaney. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, Anjaney. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Good. And then stepping onto this right foot, I'm gonna let the blocks come forward. Bring my hands to the mat. I'm gonna heel toe this right foot back, and I'm gonna send it back. So I'm flexing through my foot, the inner right thigh is spinning up, the right hip is drawing down, and here's the tough part. I'm gonna reach forward with my left hand. So balance is all wonky when you're pregnant. New equilibrium. So I'm gonna give my baby a gentle little hug and really send my energy out through my fingertips and out through my heel. Release. Tucking under through the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, reaching up through the left leg. So being mindful, you may need to move that right foot in. A couple of ankle circles here. Let the right heel release towards the floor. And then I'm gonna step the left foot towards the center of the mat, drop my right knee down, and then help that foot all the way to the front. Reaching for those blocks to the inside of the left leg. Inhaling here. And exhale, Ardha Hanuman. So the blocks can come back with you so that you can kind of use them as your go-go gadget arms here. Roll the shoulders back, heart goes forward. And then we dance. So inhaling, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sending it back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, Anjaneya. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. I'll bring my blocks forward. Take the hands to the floor. Heel toe that left foot back. Pressing through the heel, I'm giving my baby that gentle hug and reaching forward with the right hand. So much length here. I'm thinking about pushing into my sacrum and lengthening my tailbone down. Good. Right hand comes down, left knee comes down, and let's go ahead and take a child's pose. So big toes come together, knees wide apart, and send the hips back. And again, that puppy pose is always there for you. If you'd like, or if you're feeling a little nauseous, you can bring the forearms to the floor and let the head be above the heart. And then walk your hands back forward, tuck under through the toes, downward facing dog, and we'll walk our hands back to meet our feet. And they're gonna come up onto the thighs, so this is like a little umpire pose, and I'm just gonna turn and face you. Move my blanket out of the way. But from here, I'm gonna take my right forearm across the thighs, and I'm gonna reach the left arm up. So my hips can go with me, opening through the chest. And then switch. So left forearm comes across, right arm goes all the way up. Good. Back into the center, push through both feet and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. So I'm just gonna walk to the front of my mat. I'm gonna have my blocks here for me. And we'll do a couple of half Surya Namaskar A's. So inhaling, reaching the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands are gonna come forward, pressing the hands into the blocks. You're gonna inhale, reach your heart forward. And then exhale, let the elbows splay out to the sides, just a gentle little fold forward. A bend in the knees, rooting down through the feet, rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. Again, inhale. Exhale, folding all the way forward. Inhaling, pressing into those hands to the blocks. Inner thighs spinning back, length through the torso, and exhale, fold. Inhale, gentle bend in the knees, root down through the feet, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. One last time, inhale. Exhale. Inner thighs spin back as you reach up, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana here. Bending through the knee feet, root down, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. So from here, I'm gonna take my hands to my hips, I'm gonna step forward with the right foot, and I'm gonna step back with the left. So I'm making my way into a warrior one. Prenatally, we don't want to take super long stances because we're doing enough stretching as it is. And for the structure of the pelvis, we need it a little shorter. So I might need to step that in, and I may even need to take this right foot out to the side to make room for these new hips the way they are today. So right hip draws back, reach the arms all the way up, warrior one. My triceps rotate in, I'm pressing into the sole of the right foot. Shoulders draw down the back. Babe gets a gentle little hug as the tailbone lengthens. One more breath. Good. Hands come to the hips. Step that left foot forward, and it's Utkatasana. So feet are hip distance apart, and I'm gonna reach my arms all the way up. And my knees, they're kind of magnetizing as if there was a ball in between my knees. Just to imagine. Send the hips back, lift the torso all the way up, take a deep inhale. Exhale, cactus arms out to the side, and just sit a little bit deeper. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, send it a little deeper. Inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale. Last one. Exhale. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. So now we go on to the left side. So left foot's gonna step forward, right foot's gonna step back. I'm gonna make my hips wide enough, taking that left foot out, and inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Squaring off the hips, let the shoulders draw down the back, lengthening through the lower spine. Hands come to the hips. Step this right foot up, Utkatasana. Woo, it's hot back here. So inhale, I'm sitting a little deeper. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, squeezing the scapula together. Inhale. And exhale. Come all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. So I'm gonna turn and face you, and I'm gonna take my feet nice and wide. So we'll start on the right side. Right toes are gonna turn out, and left outer blade of the foot is gonna seal to the earth, and I'm gonna glide into this right thigh. My arms reach out. We're just gonna dance a little bit here. So inhaling, drawing the fingertips towards one another, reach up super tall in the torso, and then exhale, glide. Inhale it up. Exhale, glide. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Turn the palms up, reach up and back, reverse the warrior. And then straightening through that right leg, reach it all the way up and back. Good, coming all the way up. Turn the toes in, hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back, exhale, fold all the way forward. For Prasarta Padottanasana, hands can come to the floor, or you may need to reach for one of those blocks. One more breath. And then bending through the knees, bring the hands onto the thighs, press into the thighs and lift yourself all the way up to stand. And we'll go to the other side. So turning the left toes out, I'm gonna glide into my warrior two, arms come all the way up. And go ahead, look over the middle finger of your left hand. And then from here, you're gonna feel the feet into the floor, and you're gonna lift all the way up. And exhale, glide back into it. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Glide into that warrior two. Turn the palms up, reach up and back, reverse your warrior. So you can hold onto this back thigh for a little bit of support, or onto the hip. Straightening through that left leg, reverse Trikonasana. And then all the way up to stand. Turning those left toes in. And I'm just gonna shorten the stance a little bit. So about here, a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and I'm gonna turn my toes out. And we're gonna do a couple of squats here. So a couple of things here, if your knees are sensitive, you don't need to go down very low, you just go down to your limit. But from here, we'll take a little practice breath. So you'll inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands are just gonna come to the center of the heart. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, go down into your squat. And inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, squat. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, squat. And so here we're doing these squats in order to strengthen our legs so that we can have a lot of stamina in labor. Squats also end up opening the pelvis. But I would say mostly they're giving you a lot of that strength. If you need to go slower than me, then you go slower than me. We'll do 3 more. Last one. Pause at the bottom. Hands are gonna come onto the thighs, and I'm gonna rock side to side. So a little moment here in this goddess squat. And then I'm gonna pause in the center, sit a little bit lower, and I'm gonna take the right shoulder and I'm just gonna reach it in towards the center and look up over my left. My hips go back. Come back into the center, other side. Back into the center, one more time each side. Good, press into the feet, come all the way up to stand. And I'm just gonna heel toe my feet all the way in together. From here, let's stand on our right foot. So a little bit of balance, which is nuts in pregnancy. Your equilibrium is all off kilter. So standing on that right foot, you're gonna reach for this left knee. And if that's too much, then you're just gonna come up onto the ball of the left toe. So from here, I'm gonna slide this left toe into the floor with a little kickstand. So it's tree with a kickstand, or you can go a little higher, tree with the foot on the calf, or you can go all the way up. Foot into the inner thigh. So wherever you find your foot, you're gonna press the foot into that place, and you're gonna take the thigh, the calf, the floor, and you're gonna press it back into that foot. Hands come to the center of the heart. Find a focal point, a drishti, rolling the shoulders back, spread the standing foot toes. If you feel sassy, you're welcome to take your arms all the way up. It may mess with your balance a little bit more. Good, hands come all the way back down. You're gonna release your foot from the thigh, the calf, the floor, and you're gonna step this left knee behind the right. So it's almost like you're doing a little curtsy. Reach the arms all the way up, grab for that left wrist, and you push the palm up towards the ceiling, and then press it all the way over onto the right side, breathing into the left side of the lungs. Come all the way back up, step it out. Shake it on out, other side. So standing on that left foot, and from here, again, you can come up onto the ball of the toe, or you can bring the knee into the hand. You can reach for that ankle, bring the foot into the inner thigh, the inner calf. The foot, it can be on the floor in a kickstand. Find your focal point. Shoulders roll back, nice and tall in that standing foot leg. Maybe the arms go all the way up. Maybe the gaze goes up. One more deep breath. And then you're gonna release the foot, the hands come all the way down. Step this right knee behind the left. So it's like a little curtsy. I'm on the ball of my back toe, reaching the arms all the way up, grab that right wrist and take it over to the left side. Coming all the way back up. Step it, shake it on out. And I'm gonna move my blocks all the way back to the front of the mat. So last little thing that we're gonna do in the standing pose is you're gonna inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. And from here, I'm gonna, one more balancing pose, standing on that right foot, I'm gonna reach back with the left. So very much like I did when I was on hands and knees. I'm flexing through this left foot and I'm reaching through the crown of my head. So it's a supported warrior 3. And now from here, I'm gonna let it go into a standing split. And prenatally with standing split, I'm gonna let my hips open. So I'm gonna drop my head, let my hips open. Good, reach it back up, square off through the hips, let this left foot come down next to the right, bending through the knees, sit back into the heels, Utkatasana. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. I'm gonna bring the weight over into my left foot, step back with the right. So as I push into my palms, my heart reaches forward, crown of the head reaches forward. Babe gets a gentle little hug in, inner right thigh spins up. And my foot does not have to be high, it can be right here. I'm just trying to lengthen through the spine. So from here, releasing this supported warrior 3, head's gonna release down. I'm gonna open my hips up. To go directly over this standing leg, it would put compression on baby. So we wanna give baby plenty of space to hang out. Squaring off through the hips, release that right foot down. Bending through the knees, weight goes back into the heels. You wanna make sure your stance is wide enough for that belly. Lift it all the way up. Utkatasana. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come to the center of the heart. Last little pose standing. Turn the toes out and I'm just gonna come and face you. Reach for one of your blocks. Come into a malasana squat. So that deep squat. And if your knees don't allow that to happen, then you'll come right here. I'm gonna come all the way down. Sit on this block. Bring my feet right underneath me, and I'm gonna nuzzle the elbows into the inner thighs. Hands come together at the center of the heart, bring the thumbprints in towards the heart, and lift the chest up. Let the breath be sweet and soft. It's really easy to roll the shoulders in and curl around the baby, but we want the baby to have plenty of space. So press the weight into the feet, lift the shoulders up. The left hand's gonna open out to the side and right arm's gonna reach up. So it's a little malasana twist. Right hand comes back down, hands to the center of the heart, take it to the other side. Put a lot of weight into these feet, even though you're supported by this block. Good, release all the way back down. Step into your feet, hands on the thighs. Come on up, reach for that block. You're gonna find your way back into a downward facing dog. So from here, I'm gonna place my hands down, step it back. Tucking through the chin, roll it forward, plank pose. So this is pretty tough. Inner thighs lift up, heart goes forward just for a breath. Exhale, release the knees all the way down to the ground and walk yourself back to kneel. So from here, we're gonna go into a pigeon prep pose. So I like to do it with the bolster, but you can do it without, depending on how far along you are and how much space you have. So I'm gonna show it with the bolster and you are welcome to do it without. So I'm gonna place the bolster here right in front towards the middle half of my mat. And then I'm gonna take this blanket right behind for my knees. And I'm gonna come and sit all the way at the front. So leaning over into my right hip, I take the left leg behind me. Now here's the thing, I'm gonna use my hands, tuck under through my left toes and spin this left inner thigh up. My right hip draws back and I'm gonna have my hands on the blocks just to give me a little bit of a lift. My babe is over, or the belly is over the bolster. If you feel any compression of the heel against the baby or the belly, a little bit of a light compression is okay, but if you're pushing in, you're taking away your baby's square footage. So we really wanna give baby the most amount of room. So if that's the case, you might find yourself reaching a little bit further forward. I'm gonna bring my forearms down to the blocks and I'm gonna breathe. This is a great pose for anybody who's having any sciatic pain. Take a deep breath here with me. And on the exhale, sigh it out. Good. Coming up. You'll lean over into that right hip. This is the ungraceful part. Just reach back, grab for that leg. Bring it around, and we're just gonna take a couple of torso circles, just releasing all of that stretch in the hip. And then switching to the other side. So leaning over into the left, bring the right leg behind you, and you're gonna tuck under through the right toes, spin the right inner thigh up. Left knee goes out towards the side, so I have plenty of space here for my baby, my belly. And then I bring my forearms down. The back toe can be tucked or untucked, so that's whatever feels best for you. But this right hip is drawing down towards the bolster, and my left hip is being drawn back. Take a deep breath here with me. Exhale to sigh it out. Good. Coming all the way back up. You'll lean over into that left hip, bring the right leg around. Ooh. Take some circles. And then from here, and again, I'm just gonna turn and face you so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna take the soles of my feet together for Baddha Konasana. I'm gonna take my blocks here in front of me, and they can go on whatever level feels right for you. I'm pressing the soles of my feet together. You should feel a good amount of stretch going on in the inner groin. I'm making the femur bones nice and long. And then I'm gonna take the hands and place them on the blocks and draw my shoulders back and reach my heart forward for just a little forward fold. If you are upright and you are way up here, that is perfectly fine. I'm sure you have a lot going on. We don't wanna overstretch. Come all the way back up. You're gonna take the feet, let the ankles cross. And from here, just a little twist. You're taking the left hand and let it be on the left knee. Right hand's gonna come behind you. It can press into the bolster or even fingertips on the floor, and you'll roll the shoulders back. If you're a little earlier along in your pregnancy, then you can take this left hand all the way across to the right knee. But the twist is happening in the upper middle part of your spine. Belly is soft. Go ahead, unwind, let the right arm come over the left. And I'm gonna come into eagle arms for just a second. So my shoulders are gonna release down the back, and I'm gonna press the forearms forward. If that's too much, you reach for your scapula points and just pull the scapula away from one another. Release, open the arms. And then take the other leg in front. Right hand comes to that left knee, or right hand to the right knee. Pressing the fingertips behind you, really sit tall in the torso and let the belly soften, roll the shoulders back. Unwind gently from your twist. Left arm comes up and over. Nuzzle it into the right elbow. Eagle arms, let the hands be soft, jaws soft. Shoulders roll down the back and press the forearms forward. Unwind, yawn it open. And then you've made it. It's Shavasana. So a couple of ways to do Shavasana. You are welcome to lay flat on your back if you're earlier along in your pregnancy. Otherwise, you can take the blocks. One's gonna go at the highest level at the back of your mat, and the other one can go at the lowest level. And if you don't have blocks, you can use books. You can take this bolster and reach it over the blocks. I guess if you also don't have blocks, you could use more pillows, just so you have an incline here. My blanket's gonna come underneath my bum and nuzzle the hips all the way back to the bolster so your lower back is supported. And then you're gonna lie back. And the soles of the feet can come together, or they can be extended in front. If your lower back feels a little bit still needing of more support, bring the soles of your feet wide and on the floor, and let the knees just sink in towards one another. If you have time, spend more time here in this pose, just resting. The baby may be dancing inside of your belly. But in order to come out of this, you're gonna press your palms into the mat. It can help support you to roll to one side, or press the chest all the way up to come to sit. And I'm just gonna come and face you. We'll bring the hands together at the center of the heart and give them just a little rub. One hand is gonna go to your heart, mama, and the other hand is gonna go to your baby's heart. And we'll bow the chin in towards the chest, just giving gratitude towards this body, all of its capabilities, all that it's able to do and create. And also giving gratitude towards this baby and for it choosing you to be its mom. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.